It was a battle that lasted 2 months, left thousands dead, and saw the end of the First Indochina War and France's colonialism in Asia. In the mid-1940s, after the end of World War II, France had been trying to reassert its authority over Vietnam. The Viet Minh, though, they fought back, continuing to seek independence. In 1954, the war finally came to a head near the village of Dien Bien Phu in northern Vietnam. As the French forces gathered, confident of what they thought was their superior firepower, they were unaware of heavy artillery being brought in over the mountains by the Vietnamese. In a surprise heavy bombardment, French supply routes were cut and supply airfields damaged and put out of action. The Viet Minh continued to hammer the French, who were told never to surrender and fight to the last man. They were eventually overrun by a huge frontal assault. Around 2,000 French troops were killed, almost as many reported missing, and thousands of others were sent to prison camps where few survived. In July that same year, the Geneva Peace Accords were signed. The country was divided into the communist north and the south, backed by the west, a readjustment which failed, leading to the Second Indochina War, known, of course, as the Vietnam War. Well, now Dien Bien Phu is a huge town with a new population, 2/3 of whom were born after the war. And as France 24's Cyril Payen reports, many moving to the town so symbolically linked with victory.
Back to Dien Bien Phu, in search of lost time. Alain Daoust is traveling to northern Vietnam to reflect on the course history has taken. Half a century ago, the destinies of France and Vietnam dramatically changed direction. The fate of the two countries was sealed in blood and tears. It is here in these hills and vast plains that for the first time the French colonial empire stumbled. It marked a turning point and the beginning of the end. Anna was born in 1954, the same year as the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. A former French army officer whose father served in Indochina, he knows the story by heart.
I think what we're looking for is there. It's probably Eliane 4 or Eliane 2, I don't know. Yes, it is. Eliane 2 is more on our right, and there should be the monument of Eliane 2.
Eliane, Beatrice, Huguette, and Marie, the French military commanders used popular women's names as a code to label hills and other strategic points. These locations are used today by the Vietnamese as symbols of their decisive victory.
Here we can overlook the track. We see it over there. You can see Anne-Marie at the end. There's a bit more vegetation now. We have the Castries headquarters, which is there, roughly around there. Then the airfield. Then the key positions in order: Anne-Marie, Gabrielle, Beatrice, and the others: Eliane, Dominique.
Many years have passed. Monuments have replaced the bunkers. But the memories of those who survived the battle remain.
Yes, it's true that we fought fiercely against each other, French against Vietnamese. But today you're welcome to come here. War is history. We're friends now.
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur. I think I agree with you. I agree with him. And I think it's far away from us. Okay, we have to honor the veterans, both sides, but in the same time, we have no war anymore. Il est certain que les soldats vietnamiens.
The Vietnamese soldiers certainly had an impressive fighting spirit, like the general said. They were very disciplined. They shared the same ideas, and this led them to the final victory. But at the same time, I'd like to remind you there were 6 to 8 times more Vietnamese than French soldiers.
It wasn't about numbers. We were fighting for the liberation of our country. You had invaded us. We just wanted to defend Vietnam, that's all. The French came to colonize us.
Đấy là một. Cái thứ hai tức là
All members of the Quang family were born in Dien Bien Phu. Huyen, the eldest daughter, is a teacher. Her father is a retired engineer. All are members of the Communist Party.
It's good to start your day like this, in a good mood. It's the nature of the Vietnamese.
It is 6:30 in the morning. Time for pho, a traditional soup, and watching the news.
Hey, Dad, have the last bit. It's all yours.
The Vietnamese Communist Party was founded by the International Communist Coalition. There were a lot of French involved. We shared many of the same ideas with the French, values of compassion and equality.
Người đầu tiên Việt Nam tham gia Đảng Cộng sản Pháp đấy, Bác Hồ là thành viên Đảng Cộng sản Pháp. Là cái cuộc chiến tranh là không
At that time, soldiers were sent to fight. It was their duty. It was war. I've heard that some French veterans wanted to be buried here. It's a bad idea. A man will only find rest in the very place where he was born.
57 days and 57 nights of battle. And here they are, thousands of them. The Vietnamese regime still honors their sacrifice over 60 years later to keep the flame of patriotism burning.
Here, give me my glasses. Yes, those. These comrades are all dead. Well, almost all. Oh, yes, there's Mr. Tan. I think Mr. Tan's still alive. Otherwise, all the others, they're all gone. The French, frankly, didn't scare me. I hated them because they were the enemy. I've killed a lot, yes, but otherwise they would have killed me. We fought like lions. We really did.
The more we hated them, the more our fighting spirit grew. We were totally ready to sacrifice our lives.
There were so many lives lost here at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. I remember the first French soldier I killed. I remember my fallen comrades too. I was part of the first wave of the assault on Hill A1. That was the fiercest battle I ever experienced.
Dien Bien Phu today is nothing like the small village it once was. The city has grown to become the capital of the province. The Vietnamese authorities are betting on historical tourism. With the population expanding and dramatic economic growth, this is one way to remind the young generation of what the country has gone through. Students visit a brand new museum dedicated to the revolution. Anna is there too and gets plenty of attention.
Do you know who Vietnam was fighting? The French! French people like him! It's important for us to know what happened. We can understand the feelings of the heroes that saved the country.
We have a part of story together during more than 1 century. We are the same. We belong to the same country, in fact. And there is an Avenue Pasteur in Hanoi. and the French doctor come here, and the French make the railroad in Vietnam, and so we are friends. We are more than friends. We are cousin or brother.
Forever.
Forever.
See you.
After several lost generations, the young are flourishing here. 2/3 of the city's residents were born after the war. Alan meets Huyen, the daughter of the retired engineer, at a cafe popular with the local youth.
We were taught from primary school about Dien Bien Phu, so the first feeling appeared in most of our mind is the victory in 1954. The history plays a very important role in our life, but in my opinion, we should remember about Dien Bien Phu not only because of the history, but also because of other factors.
You are normal people, and you have the same life than other people in other towns in the country, and you don't want to be only the people of the town of the battle.
These are young people who believe in their country and who obviously want development of the city they live in. They want to get things done. That's progress. I call them patriots.
On TV many times. When we listen to the song, just like we are fighting for the country, so very motivated, very active.
There is a timeless sadness that goes from generation to generation. No matter how much time passes or how countries change. Both the winners and losers of war are always faced with the agony of remembering.
We lacked leaders with vision. That's what we could have done differently. But I do not mean these people died for nothing. They died for France, and especially in the name of a certain idea of France.
It's a cold, wet morning in Dien Bien Phu. Trung, the veteran soldier born in 1930, recalls his youth as a soldier.
I saw so many comrades being killed here. You have no idea the hell of fighting. Really, no idea.
The village of Nong Nai is on the edge of town. A little-known memorial commemorates a French massacre which some claim never occurred. A questionable story that has survived for over 6 decades.
This place is important for the people of Vietnam. The French bombs killed 444 innocent civilians at 2 o'clock on April 25, 1954. This made us determined to fight, to win the battle for our freedom.
The truth, the only truth I'm going to tell you. The French and the Vietnamese. We're all innocent victims of the war.
The Battle of Dien Bien Phu was a key moment in the process of decolonization. After the French had gone, their place was taken by the Americans, who in turn were to suffer their greatest ever military defeat.
Cyril Payan revisiting Dien Bien Phu for France 24. Well, that's all from this week's edition. You can catch it again and all the previous editions as well on our website, of course. That's at france24.com. Well, thanks very much for watching and stay tuned for more.